Hey there friends, today I am using the new February 2022 kit and add-ons from Elle Studio to create a double-sided pocket page about a typical day in my son's life right now. And the tag, the 4x6 tag at the bottom, notes from today, really gave me that idea to create this page because these moments really are fleeting. So right now I'm just setting up my pages. I'm going back and forth on where I want those photos and journaling tags. I usually like to do a checkerboard kind of design so that you don't have two photos next to each other. But that doesn't always work out. It's just something I try to do. I really want to add a little bit of all of the colors down to the bottom of that notes from today tag. And so I grabbed the Love You paper stack to do just that. That stripe is pretty much my favorite stripe ever. I think the colors are gorgeous. And I'm going to use those same colors to kind of lead your eye through the rest of my page. Now this is a front and back layout, but I like to design it as if it were next to each other. It's just something that I like to do. I think that it makes it look, congruent from the front to the back when you do it that way. So I am adhering this stripe here to the base of my tag, and I'm just going to trim those ends off. There's so much color in my photos. I only made 3 of them in black and white, and because they just didn't do much for the rest of the colors. So I'm grabbing my favorite new stamp, the Icon tab stamp, and I am going to use both the Cool Solids and the Warm Solids paper stacks to help me add those icons to this page. The first thing I'm going to do is just wipe my icon tab stamp down with a gum eraser just so that it's primed and ready to go. I'm using the same ink on all of the tabs, and that is Sapphire from Close to My Heart. It's my favorite navy. I am stamping first the icon tab on each of my colors. Again, these are from the Warm Solids and the Cool Solids paper stacks, and they coordinate all the way across all of Ellie's products, which I just love. Next, I'm going to add each of the icons to the center. And since this is my first time stamping with it, I'm just stamping off several times to make sure my stamp is ready to go. So I'm doing this in batches so you can see that I stamped all of the icon tabs first, then I'm stamping all of the icons, and then I will die cut everything. I find that it is much faster to do it that way. And then at the end, I will clean all of my stamps all at the same time. So I usually just put them in a little tray, like a little plastic tray, while they're dirty, so that I can clean everything off all at once. So I'm just going through my colors here because I'm being strategic about which colors I want to put on which photos. So I am looking at the photos on my layout to make that decision. Love the little shopping cart. There are so many cute little icons on here, things that you wouldn't have even thought to put on an icon tab stamp, and they're definitely on this one. So lots of good things, and I love that this tab stamp can be really good for sparking a story. So about your typical day, what tabs would you add to add the details of your day in there? So for us, it's always walks. We take a lot of walks with the dog. We eat, we play, that sort of thing with a toddler. That's kind of life right now. So I'm using the brand new pixie tape from my friends at ThermoWeb, my magic mat from scrapbook.com, and my We Are Memory Keepers Revolution machine. I just want you to notice that this single piece of pixie tape will do all of my dies. It doesn't tear the paper. I'm finding it really, really useful for die cutting. So my scrapbook.com magic mat is not magnetic. I just want to try it out. It gives you a really nice cut on your die cuts. So you do need to use a piece of tape to make sure your die cut, your metal die stays in place. And this new pixie tape from Thermoweb is really doing the trick. So I'm cutting each one of these little tabs out. I love that green. It is, just like my favorite. Pretty much Ellie's yellow and her green. This kind of mustardy color is making my life so happy right now. So just batch cutting each of these before I decide where I want to put them on my pockets. I love adding photos to my journaling tags, and that one was so cute because it has the little speech bubble with the hearts in it, and pretty much every time my son gets in the car, he falls asleep. So I had to put the little car icon tab stamp there, and we do a lot of writing in the car to take my daughter to her, after school activities and back and forth from to and from school. So some of these tabs I'm putting on the base of the photo because there's not really much that it's covering up, and some of them I'm going to put on the top of the photo. So, just to give it a different look throughout the page. I really love the way that these colors are playing out. That coffee photo, even though I'm drinking a coffee, on the page, this page isn't really about me. And so that coffee tab is kind of not feeling right to me. It's kind of getting in the way. I just noticed, and this is something that I do often because I get excited and I want to adhere something down. I just noticed that tab there is going to cover up something that I don't want to be covered up. So I'm moving it to the left side of the tag, which means that I have a little tear on my journaling tag. So I'm going to cover that up later with a sticker. No worries at all. I'm taking off the coffee cup, and that feels so much better to me. That coffee cup tab was just not doing it for me at all. So there I added the awesome die cut from the February 2022 kit, not a sticker, a die cut. And it looks like it just belongs there, right? Because there's a speech bubble below it. These die cuts are really, you know, what I love to add next after my journaling tags and my photos. I like to go through them and see which ones really work. So that's love spending time with you is going to point towards my title. So I love that. It's a little bit long, so I'll have to make sure that I can fit that on there. That little speech bubble with the heart is perfect. It matches my son's sweater there. And I love the black Life Right Now die cut because it fits really well on that notes from today journaling tag. So speaking of this awesome notes from today journaling tag, I'm taking out my favorite typewriter alpha stamp. It's Hazel. This is one that I've told Ellie this can never leave the shop because I have to use it forever. And I'm adding the times into this notes from today. So there is a time column, and I have to kind of think through because I have a finite number of boxes. I have 9 boxes, and so I kind of need to think about what parts of our day I want to journal about because obviously I could do every hour, sort of like a day in the life thing, but with only 9 boxes, I'm choosing the most important ones to me and the ones that coordinate with the photos that I've chosen too. So again, I'm using sapphire ink from Close to My Heart to stamp everything on this on this page until I decorate the bottom of this tag, which I'm really excited about. And I hope it gives you guys some ideas on other ways that you can use your icon tab stamp too. I'm also going to add an A or a P after the times here. I typically do write just A or P in shorthand when I'm writing in my planner and stuff like that. So since that fits in that spot, that's what I'm going with, and it works for me. So I gathered up a whole bunch of my close to my heart inks. I'm starting with Glacier here. I'm just coordinating the ink color to the color on that strip of pattern paper. Um, because I don't want this to be too bold, I want you just to see a hint of those icons. I did peach for the lighter pink and smoothie for the darker like salmon color. So the sapphire is a bit dark, so I may or may not do that one. I did willow for the shopping cart, and I did Sundance for the yellow because it's a little bit darker. And then I'm just using my tiny attacher to add the life right now die cut to the top. I'll add my journaling later. So next I'm going to do my title here. And as I suspected, love spending time with you die cut is a bit too long because I want this page to be called Toddler Life, and I'm really set on having that title there in my negative space of my photo. I'm using the Jane acetate stickers. They're navy. They're really cool. I like that they're see-through because then you'll still be able to see kind of the grain on the table. So what I'm going to do is cut the die cut so that it says spending time with you instead of just love spending time with you. I do love spending time with my son, and I already know that, so I don't need that word on there. And then I'm just adding my stickers to my clear ruler so that I can get an idea if it's going to fit and how close I need to get those stickers. So that's a really great trick that I use all the time. Next, I'm using the white Puffy alphabet stickers. I just want to make sure that those are going to stand out enough and look good there. And so I'm just adding those to my clear ruler. I don't like that empty space to the right, so I am adding one of the new Little Love label stickers there, the teal one. And so that just kind of fills in that awkward gap there. And then I really love the way that that looks together. So next in my process, I go through my pockets one by one and I just add all the little bits that I've kind of put on the outside of the pocket. For each of my icon tabs, I am using the tiny attacher there so that looks the same all throughout. Just adding a little tiny attacher to that. I'm making sure that my tabs aren't going to be covering anything up on the pocket above. So for the utensils tab there, you can see that it hits just under the spending time with you die cut. I also added that little life captured yellow sticker there under the picture of my son eating. Really love those. They're nice and colorful too. Love all these little touches of color that I'm adding around this page, and it all kind of ties back to that striped pattern paper at the bottom. And now those tabs really coordinate with that pattern paper because I also stamped the icons on there too. So I really like how all these connections are being made across the page. Just adding my die cuts and my icon tabs here to each of my photos. If you look closely at this page, it really doesn't have a ton of product on it, much less than my usual pocket pages, and I really like that because you can't tell at all. This page is really special because it's a glimpse into a day of our life right now, and it was all inspired by this Notes from Today 4x6 tag from the February 2022 kit. And then I added those awesome icon tabs all over to coordinate with the colors that I selected from the kit. And I just love everything about this page. It makes me uber happy, and I love that I have this little glimpse into our life. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's pocket page process video. Be sure to check out all of the supplies that I used to create this page at the link in my video notes by clicking that down arrow. Thanks so much for watching, and happy creating.